Pleasant good evening and welcome to inside of Franklin's Spurlock Center for the first men's basketball home game of the new season with the Wilmington Quakers taking on your Franklin College Grizzlies. I'm Ryan Thomas. I'll have all the action for you tonight here on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Franklin and Wilmington, it's game number 4 of the year for the Grizzlies after they opened with 3 straight on the road to start off the 2022-23 campaign. Franklin 1-2 coming into the night's game, coming off a nice bounce-back win 2 nights ago in Greencastle against DePaul University. The Grizzlies down by 9 at halftime, rallied with 11 straight out of the break. Battle back and beat the Tigers 63-62. Carter Crow finishing with a team-high 19 points and knocking down the go-ahead three-pointer with 30 seconds to go. Give Franklin head coach Chris Hamilton the first head coaching win of his career. Wilmington enters tonight's game 2-0 with home victories against Spalding and Defiance to open their season. Balance is the name of the game for the Quakers as they have 4 players sitting in double figures through 2 games. The team overall is humming offensively, shooting 50.4% from the floor and 40% from behind the three-point line. Those are a couple of the numbers, the quick numbers, as we get set for the start of tonight's game. Tip-off set for about 11 minutes and change. We're going to take a quick step aside. We will be back with keys to the game and the starting lineups. You are watching Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group.
We are back inside the Spurlock Center. 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go on the pregame clock. We've got the starting lineups for you here for the Grizzlies and the Quakers. Wilmington will line up with number 3, Lucas Doty, number 5, Abdul Kanu, number 11, Bryce Bird, and number 34, Colin Barker at the guards. The lone forward listed is number 0, Obed Archam. For Franklin, they will line up with the same starting lineup they have had in each of their first 3 games this year. Trey Flatt, Cody Samples, Carter Crow, and Logan Hudgens is in the 4-guard lineup, with Lynn King lining up as the number 5 for the Grizzlies. Keys to tonight's game for Franklin. It sounds cliche and it sounds simple, but the Grizzlies will look to shoot the ball a little bit better from the floor than they have through the first 3 games. Franklin just 37.4% from the field as a team, 29% from the 3-point line. You have to imagine that those numbers will grow and get a little bit higher as the Grizzlies have a chance to shoot on their home rims for a change. We are going to take a quick step aside while the teams get back out onto the floor for their final warm-ups. We'll be back with the opening tip from the Franklin Spurlock Center. You've got Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. We are back inside the Spurlock Center, just a couple moments away from the opening tip between Franklin and Wilmington, the 2022-23 home opener for the men's basketball team. You are watching Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. We are going to stay right here. We're going to keep the sound on, but we are going to turn it over to PA announcer Matt Smith, who will have the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spurlock Center on the campus of Franklin College for tonight's men's basketball home opener between the Wilmington Quakers taking on your Franklin College Grizzlies. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Starters for tonight's game. First for the Quakers. At one guard, a 6'3" sophomore, number 3, Lucas Doty. At another guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 11, Bryce Bird. At another guard, a 6'4" freshman, wearing number 34, Colin Barker. At one forward, a 6'2" sophomore, wearing 0, Obed Archer. And also in forward, a 6'6" senior wearing number 5, Abdul Kalu. Head coach of the Quakers is Micah Mills. And now, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet because it's time to meet tonight's starting lineup for your Franklin College Grizzlies. At one guard, a 6'2" sophomore, number 3, Trey.
Inside of Franklin Spurlock Center tonight. You can see across the way the student section decked out in all white for tonight's whiteout game between the Grizzlies and the Quakers. A couple of first-year coaches in charge of tonight's two programs. For Wilmington, Micah Mills, a 2012 Ohio Valley graduate, and his first season with the Quakers, out to a 2-0 start. And behind the Franklin bench is Chris Hamilton in his first year on the bench for the Grizzlies. Franklin 1-2 on the year. Lynn set to tip against Obed Archam. And we are underway from the Spurlock Center. Wilmington controls the opening tip. Archam has it at the top of the key. He hands off to Doty, and we got an offensive foul right at the top of the key. Archam called for an illegal screen. So the Grizzlies will have the first chance to strike as Doty Samples brings it up the floor. Now Crow, top of the key. Doty matched up on Crow, now to Samples. Samples kicks to King. King with a ball fake, has it knocked away by Doty. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Samples goes behind the back, into the lane, tough shot, no good, gets his own rebound and the putback layup for the opening bucket of the game. Bird drives into the lane, going right at Samples. He misses the layup, gets his rebound, misses the putback. Hudgens rips down the board and the Grizzlies are out and running. Flat, corner three on the way. That one's good. Carter Crow on the assist in transition. Hudgens drawing Archam. Now top of the key, it's Canoe. He puts up a tough shot on King, no good. Tip attempt, no good as well. Hudgens rips down his second board of the night. King in transition, in with the layup, and a quick timeout on the floor for Wilmington. The Grizzlies off and running, leading 7-0 with 18:32 to go here in the opening half. We are going to step aside during the timeout. You are watching Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Back at the Spurlock Center, a quick 7-0 lead for the Grizzlies. Forces an early Wilmington timeout, and the Quakers will look to settle down a raucous Franklin crowd. Bird lines up from deep. That one's short. Samples pulls down the long rebound. Here comes Franklin in transition. Flat with a ball fake. Into the corner. Hudgens, long three. That one's good! Supreme ball movement by the Grizzlies in the early going, especially with those transition buckets. 10-0 Franklin, 2 minutes into the game. Here's Canoe, drives, has it knocked away by King. Samples comes down with it on the floor. Hudgens, Crow, Samples, top of the key, on the way, no good. Crow with the rebound, putback attempt is good. 2 minutes and 30 seconds gone in this game, and Franklin is out to a 12-0 lead. Archam lines up Hudgens. Nice ball movement by Wilmington. Long three on the way from Barker is up and good. And the Quakers snap the 12-0 run. Flat loses a handle on the long pass, but he finds Crow in the corner for three. Excellent recovery by Trey Flat after mishandling the ball, finding Carter Crow, and down on the other end we got a foul coming. Trey Flat is going to be whistled for Franklin's first foul of the night. Back and forth the two teams go, and Lucas Doty will head to the free throw line for Wilmington. Doty 11 points per game in the early going. His first free throw is up and good. A couple of subs into the game for Wilmington. Number 30, Dominic Fairley. Number 12, Aaron Frazier are checking in. Bryce Bird, Obed Archam will take a seat on the bench for Wilmington. Second shot, no good. Hudgens yanks down his third rebound of the night. Notice the Grizzlies doing a lot of getting up and running when they collect a miss. So far it's worked to the tune of a 15-4 lead. Here's Flat at the top of the key. Now Hudgens and Samples, they reset. 7 on the shot clock. Samples, corner, King, step back 3 on the way. That one's off the mark. And Barker comes down with the rebound. Here come the Quakers in transition. Canoe has an easy drive to the bucket. Abdul Canoe, the team's leading scorer coming into this one, has his first 2 points of the night. Crow reverses it to King. Nice hesitation move by Lynn King, both with the dribble and the ball fake. He's got an easy 2 points. And Franklin's lead back to double figures. Canoe drives past King, gets inside and lays it in. They had to fight off the double team of King and Hudgens down low. He's got 4, half of the point total for Wilmington in this game. Samples gets it to Hudgens in the corner for 3, no good. Crow tried to tip out the rebound. It's pulled down by Doty. Doty in transition, puts it up off the window and good. Just like that, the lead down to 7 as Wilmington's starting to mount a little bit of a rally. Here's King. Now Hudgens top of the key. Pass looking inside for King. His feet got tied up down low, and the pass goes off of King's hands out of bounds. Media timeout on the floor, 15:02 to go in the opening half. It's Franklin 17 and Wilmington 10. We are going to take a step aside. You've got Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Inside the Spurlock Center. Quakers with the ball out of the timeout. 2 substitutions for each team. Ryan Bostic, Nathaniel Hoffman into the game for Franklin. One of the subs for Wilmington, number 2, Jaden Lewis, steps in and knocks down a jumper, his first points of the game. Down at the other end, Hoffman out to Crow for 3. That shot's no good, and we got a foul as Ryan Bostic battling with number 4, Andrew Clark, for the rebound. Clark is going to be called for the loose ball foul.
That was on the Quakers, number 4, Andrew Clark, his first, team 7.
Second foul of the half for Wilmington. Here's Hudgens, hands off to Bostic. Bostic kicks to Samples. Samples for 3, no good. Hoffman with the tip in, that one's no good. Crow comes down with the rebound, and he is fouled on the play.
Foul is on the Quakers, number 4, Andrew Clark, his second, team's third.
Foul is on Andrew Clark. That's 2 quick fouls for Clark.
Carter Crow.
And that will send Carter Crow to the free throw line. 4-2 Crow. Misses just his 4th free throw attempt of the early season. Crow, the lone Grizzly, in double figures on the year, 14.7 points per game, shooting a nice crisp 66.7% from the field as he
knocks down free throw number 2. 14:20 to go, opening half, and what's been a fast-paced opening couple of minutes here in Franklin. Canoe has his shot contested and no good. Crow down on the other end. His driving attempt too strong. Rebound pulled down by Clark. Dominic Fairley has it at the top of the key, now over to Frazier. Frazier to Clark. Clark with a head fake on Hudgens. Nice drive and dish to Aaron Frazier. He connects on the bucket. He's got his first 2 of the night. And a nice little run by the Quakers as Canoe comes away with a steal on Hudgens. Down at the other end, he puts it home with 2 hands. What was once a 12-0 Franklin lead is now down to 2. And we got a turnover down on the Franklin offensive end as Hoffman looked like he was between making a pass and pulling a pass back, so it'll be Quakers ball. 13:16 to go. Trey Flatlin King back into the game for the Grizzlies. Number 24, Hunter Price. And number 0, Abed Archam back in for Wilmington. Archam has it knocked away, and it's picked up by Dominic Fairley. His shot no good. Long rebound goes to Wilmington. Franklin showing zone. Clark inside. Archam, easy layup, and he can't get it to go, but he gets his own board, and he can't get the second one to go. Pulls the ball away from Carter Crow and lays it in, and that will cause a Franklin timeout with 12:38 to go in the opening half. We are all tied at 18. We are going to take a step aside. You've got Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Back in the Spurlock Center, Franklin needing a little time to talk things over. They've got the ball out of the timeout. It's King out on the perimeter. Now Bostic gets it and sets up the Franklin offense. 10 to go on the shot clock. Bostic drives into the corner for Crow. Long 3 is up and good. Carter Crow having a nice start to this one for the Grizzlies. Archam looked to drive his spin move, with a spin move in the lane, had it poked away and stolen. On the other end, it's Bostic in transition. He lays it off the glass and in. Down at the other end, these teams not using a whole lot of the shot clock as that shot missed. King pulls down the board. Bostic in transition for 3, no good. Long rebound comes to Bostic. His putback attempt is up and good, and he draws the foul. That foul is on number 24, Hunter Price.
That was on the Quakers, number 24, Hunter Price. His
First foul on Price, team's 4th, and that will bring us to the 12-minute media timeout on the floor. 25-18 your score. Franklin leads Wilmington. You've got Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Back in the Spurlock Center, Ryan Bostic at the free throw line for the Grizzlies. Bostic coming off a career-best 10-point night 2 nights ago against DePaul, giving Franklin a huge scoring boost off the bench. He completes the three-point play and heads to the bench. Cody Samples back into the game for the Grizzlies. 26-18 your score. 11.5 minutes to go in the opening half. Long three on the way from Price. That one's no good. Archam comes down with the rebound. Kicked out Farley for three, and he connects. One of the other keys of the game for the Grizzlies is try not to give up too much on the glass. A team that shoots this well gets second chances, they're likely to make you pay. 5-point lead, Franklin. Hudgens controls. Hands off to Flat. Now Crow. Crow on the way for three. It's good. Carter Crow in double figures already. He's got 12. He's got 3 3-pointers. Down on the other end, Archam's drive is tied up by Samples. The ball stays with Wilmington. And the shot missed by Farley. It goes out of bounds. It will stay with Wilmington. Lucas Doty and Colin Barker back into the game for Wilmington. 8-point lead for the Grizzlies. 10:31 to go in the opening half. Archam controls, now swings it out to Bird. Bird over to Doty. Doty matched up on by Trey Flat. His driving layup no good. Hudgens pulls down the rebound. Samples in transition, decides to pull things back and find Trey Flat. And we've got a foul coming. That's on number 34, Barker. His first, team's fifth. .07 to go, first half. Hudgens controls, gets it inside to Crow. Crow backs down his defender, kicks it back out to Hudgens for three. It's good. Second triple of the night for Logan Hudgens. He's got 6. And the lead back to double figures for the Grizzlies. Inside, it's Barker, double teamed by Crow and Hudgens. He backs things out to Canoe. Canoe, step back jumper on Hudgens. That one falls. A silky smooth release from Canoe. He's up to 8 points, leading all Wilmington players. Crow, right wing for three. That one's off the mark. Doty pulls down the rebound. Bird drives, his shot contested and no good, pulled down by Samples. In transition, Flat, head fake, step back three, no good. Archam with the rebound. Samples crashing the board hard, trying to get back in transition. Doty top of the key. 8:45 to go first half. 32-23 Franklin, and Doty's going to be whistled for a travel. Nice defense by Trey Flatt to frustrate Lucas Doty. Wave subs for the Grizzlies. Bostic and King checking back in. Zach Woodson into the game for the first time for Franklin, wearing number 4. In for Wilmington, number 25, Nick Malagreca. King goes hard to the hole. Can't get it to fall, but he is going to draw a foul on the play. It's on number 11, Bryce Bird, his first, team 6th. And it'll give Lynn King 2 free throws for the Grizzlies. And more importantly, it will put Franklin in the bonus for the rest of the first half. King's first free throw up and good. King off to a strong start, starting in all 3 games for the Grizzlies entering tonight. 25.4 minutes per game, 7.7 points per contest. He goes 1 of 2 from the line. Canoe rips down the board. Canoe lost a handle on it. He's matched up with King. Canoe drives. Tough contested shot by King. But Canoe is going to get to the free throw line. They're going to whistle Carter Crow for the foul. First foul on Crow, second on the team. Abdul Canoe heads to the free throw line. He's been to the free throw line more than any other Quaker this year, 9 of 16 entering tonight's contest. No other Wilmington player with more than 8 free throws attempted on the young season. Canoe goes 1 for 2 from the line, about on par for where he is for the year. King pulls down the board, and the lead stays at 9. 8 minutes to go, opening half. Hudgens, corner 3 on the way. That's no good. King rips down the long rebound. Bostic looked inside to Hudgens. It was a good look, but Abdul Canoe able to time that ball up perfectly and come up with the steal. Down on the other end, it's Malagreca. His shot no good. Crow rips down the board. King to Woodson at the elbow. Woodson drives. His shot no good. I thought they might have called a jump ball on that, but they're going to call a travel on Woodson. And it will be Wilmington ball when we get back from a timeout on the floor. 8-minute media timeout taken. 7:23 to go, opening half. Franklin leads Wilmington 33-24. You've got Grizz TV and Franklin College basketball. Grizz TV brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Back inside the Spurlock Center. 7:23 to go, opening half. We'll reset the players out on the floor for Wilmington. It's Canoe, Lewis, Farley, Clark, and trying to get the last number. Aaron Frazier. Canoe drives into the lane. His shot no good. King skies for the rebound. Can't get it. And it will stay with Wilmington. Out on the floor for Franklin, it's Woodson, Bostic, Flat, King, making his first appearance on the home floor for the Grizzlies, number 34, Jack Hendricks. Obed Archam back into the game. Canoe will head to the bench for Wilmington. Pull-up jumper on the way from Clark. That is up and good. First points of the game for Clark, and the lead back down to 7 for Franklin. Flat, down low on the post-up. He goes to the bucket. His shot no good. Flat battling for the rebound. It looked like Archam came down with it, and Wilmington is out in transition. Clark in the corner for 3. That shot's long, and the rebound out to Farley. Farley with a head fake. Nice ball movement by Wilmington, but nice job by the Franklin defense to catch up to it. Driving into the lane, going up with the left hand is Jaden Lewis. Lewis with 4 in the ball game, and the Grizzly lead down to 5. 6:15 to go, opening half. King has it top of the key. Over to Flat. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Bostic resets from the logo. Down to 4. Bostic finds a wide open Hendricks for the easy lay-in. First bucket of the career for Jack Hendricks here at Franklin. An excellent bit of court vision by Ryan Bostic with that pass inside. Clark drives up with the right hand. That's no good, but he is going to head to the free throw line after a Franklin foul. It is on Jack Hendricks, his first team's third.
His first team's third. At the line shooting 2 for the Quakers, number 4, Andrew Clark.
Andrew Clark headed to the free throw line. Just one free throw attempt on the year. He knocked it down. First shot is on the way and good. And we got wave subs in for the Grizzlies. Hoffman, Hudgens, Crow, and Samples back in. Bostic, Hendricks, King, and Woodson are off. For those of you keeping score at home, Trey Flat, the only Grizzly, to stay out on the floor after the subs. Second shot on the way from Clark is up and good. 35-30 your score. 5.5 minutes to go, opening half. Still one more media timeout to go before the teams break for halftime. Hoffman had his pass knocked away. Samples able to recover. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Samples inside. Hoffman up with the two-handed flush. An excellent one-handed pass from Cody Samples to find Hoffman on the pick and roll. Hoffman's first bucket of the night. Archam drives, tough shot, no good. Nice job by Hudgens to contest. Samples in transition. Hoffman off the window with the spin move. Back-to-back buckets from Nathaniel Hoffman as the Grizzlies back in front by 9 as we hit the 4.5-minute mark in the first half. Farley into the corner to Clark. Farley drives, nice job by Hudgens to knock that pass away. Ball goes out of bounds, it will stay with Wilmington. Hunter Price back into the game for Wilmington. That will send Frazier to the bench. Wilmington just beating the 5-second violation on that inbounds pass, and a great individual effort by Lewis. Jaden Lewis getting to the basket, drawing the foul on Trey Flat.
Fouls on the Grizzlies, number 3, Trey Flat, his second.
Second foul of the half on Trey Flat, fourth on the team.
Number 2, Jaden Lewis, he's in the line shooting 1.
Checking back in for Wilmington, a trio of starters in Doty, Bird, and Canoe. Jaden Lewis at the free throw line, 3 of 4 from on the year at the line. He misses. Hudgens pulls down the board. Hoffman catches at the elbow. Nice backdoor cut by Carter Crow. Excellent read from the Franklin senior. He's got 14 in the ball game. And the Grizzlies lead by 9 as we hit the 4-minute mark. Wide open 3 from Bird, no good. Doty with the board. His putback attempt, no good. Samples with the rebound. Samples all the way to the cup on his own. He gets it to fall. Second bucket of the night for Cody Samples. Doty drives, goes up with the reverse, no good. Crow with the rebound. And we've got a stoppage on the floor. It looks like this is going to be for Cody Samples. And it's going to lead us into a media timeout. 3:26 to go, opening half. Franklin leads Wilmington 43-32. We'll be right back with the rest of the first half. You have got Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group. Back in the Spurlock Center, one timeout out of the media. Lynn King checks back in for Cody Samples. Samples took either an arm or some sort of appendage to the face on his breakaway layup as that pass goes through the hands of Lynn King out of bounds. Back to Wilmington. Just the 6th turnover of the first half for the Grizzlies. Lewis drives, tough shot on Carter Crow. Crow doing a nice job staying with him, forcing him to the opposite hand. Hoffman has his pocket picked, able to recover. He goes up strong, no good. Lynn King right there for the putback. King's got 7 in the ball game. Back at the other end, Canoe, his shot no good. Doty pulls down the board and he gets the putback. 5 points for Lucas Doty. And you'll have to forgive me for sounding like I'm running out of breath. These teams playing at a very, very fast pace. Flat long 3, no good. Doty pulls down the board. Canoe lost his footing. I think he was a little surprised to see Trey Flatt when he turned around with the ball in his hands, but he's able to retain possession, go to the floor, get a 30-second timeout for Wilmington. 2:11 to go, opening half, 45-34, Franklin holding the lead. This game number 2 of a long season of Grizzly basketball here on Grizz TV. Our next broadcast will be this coming Tuesday night when the Franklin women are back in town. They will host Albion College in their final tune-up, their final home tune-up before conference play. The next time the Grizzly men will be back here is November 26th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, when they play Dominican University out of Illinois. Wilmington with the ball. It's Canoe. Now to Barker, looking inside for Canoe, and a great heads-up play by Logan Hudgens. He, falling out of bounds, saves the ball, throws it off of Canoe, and possession goes back to the Grizzlies. Ryan Bostic walking the ball up the floor, something we haven't seen either team do a lot of here in the first half. Flat inside to Crow. Crow matched up on Canoe. And the pass, looking for Flat, deflected by Barker off of Flat, out of bounds. Possession goes back to Wilmington. Down to 1:40 to go in the opening half. You can hear the Franklin student section building up with the defense chant. Here's Doty. He tries to drive on Flat, runs into a double team, still manages to muscle that one up and in. 7 points for Lucas Doty, and he got those two the hard way. Hudgens to King. King with a head fake. Looks dribble drive, but not there. Now Flat backs it out. Bostic with 10 on the shot clock. Throw with the high screen. Bostic tripped up, loses the ball. Doty comes down with it. Out to Canoe. Nice job by Carter Crow to get back in transition on defense. Come away with a steal, and he draws a foul on Canoe in the backcourt. Looked like a bit of a frustration foul from Canoe following the turnover, his first, and Carter Crow heads back to the free throw line for the Grizzlies. Crow leading all players with 12 points so far, 1 of 2 at the line. His front end of the 1-and-1 is good. Down to 48.5 seconds to go, opening half. Franklin's lead back to double figures. Second shot from Crow on the way and good. Substitution for the Grizzlies. Samples is back in the game. He's got a little bit of tissue paper in his nose. He's tough. I'd say he's a football player, but that's not true. You're not watching football. Trey Flat heads to the bench, keeping him with 2 fouls as we head into the half. Doty drives, loses a handle on the ball. They're going to say that goes off of Crow, out of bounds. Possession stays with the Quakers. .4 to go on the clock. A great hustle play by Lynn King as he interrupts the inbounds pass, throws it off of Bird's leg, out of bounds. Possession goes back to the Grizzlies. Dominic Farley checks back in for Wilmington. Bird will head to the bench. Walks it across half court, gives it to Bostic. About a 7-second differential between shot and game clock. Bostic goes hard to the basket. That shot is rejected by Canoe. It ends up in Bostic's hands on the ground, out of bounds. And we'll go back to Wilmington. Shot clock is off with under 20 seconds to go. We'll see if the Quakers play for the final shot of the half. Here's Farley. Head fakes, hands it over to Barker. Back to Farley, down to 8 on the game clock. Doty backs down Crow, goes to the middle. Up with the right, no good. King pulls down the board, and that is going to do it for the first half of play. Franklin will head into the locker room, leading Wilmington 47-36. We are going to take a quick step aside
We'll have your first half stats here in a little bit. Once again, Franklin leads at the half, 47-36. You've got Franklin College basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group.
are back inside the Spurlock Center, just a couple minutes away from the start of the second half between Franklin and Wilmington. Grizzlies up by 11, shooting 52.9% from the floor in the opening half, 6 of 16 from behind the three-point line. Down on the other end of the floor, Franklin holding Wilmington to 44.1% from the field, 2 for 6 from behind the three-point line. Rebounding has played a massive role in this game. Franklin having everyone crash the glass. They lead the rebounding battle by a 21-16 count. Logan Hudgens leads all players with 7 boards. Carter Crow is your game's leading scorer with 16 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from behind the three-point line, 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Grizzlies with the ball to open the second half. Samples with a head fake, kicks out. Crow, wing 3 on the way is good. Carter Crow from long distance and a steal by Samples on the inbounds pass. And we've got a jump ball called. Flat tied up with Archam. Quakers with the ball out of the jump ball turnover. Just the 8th of the ball game for the Grizzlies. Both teams with 7 at the break. Layup attempt from Doty is no good. It hit the bottom of the rim. Lynn King comes down with the board. King into the lane. Gets Canoe up in the air. Goes up strong and off the window. Lynn King getting his first basket of the second half. Bird down on the other end with a pull-up jumper. That one falls. Wilmington with their first bucket of the half. Flat goes strong to the glass, no good. Doty with the rebound, and that's going to be a loose ball foul on Trey Flat the other way. That's a big foul as Flat picks up his 3rd, and we'll head to the bench in favor of Ryan Bostek. Canoe over to Bird. Bird tight walks the baseline to Canoe. Canoe drives strong into the lane. Contested by Crow. The shot no good. Hudgens with the board. In transition, it's King. He can't get the dunk to fall. Bostic picks up the rebound and gets the putback. Samples with a pull-up jumper. His shot no good. Carter Crow with the offensive board. And that ball is off of Archam, and Archam, the last Wilmington player to get a layup to fall. Jaden Lewis, Dominic Farley back in for Wilmington. Nathaniel Hoffman checks in for Franklin. Logan Hudgens will head to the bench. Crow with a driving layup. That one's good. 21 points in the game for Carter Crow, matching a career high. Archam hands to Bird. Bird pulls up from 3. That one's off the mark. King with the rebound. King with a Euro step, can't get the shot to fall. Canoe comes down with the rebound. And we've got an offensive foul called on Canoe. on the floor, Wilmington. 16:33 to go, second half. We are going to take a quick step aside. We'll be back in a little bit. We've got some technical difficulties we have to work out on the broadcast. You've got Grizz Basketball on Grizz TV, brought to you by the Hubler Automotive Group.